if you're an Aces fan, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all if you're a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, because it is looking like Kelsey Plum is probably going to be gone from.
Kelsey Plum's contract standoff has the Las Vegas Aces on edge, leaving MVP A'ja Wilson vulnerable as free agency looms. Meanwhile, rising phenom Caitlin Clark is poised to seize the moment, stepping into the spotlight and challenging Wilson's throne. Is the WNBA's reigning dynasty about to face its downfall?
What's been a little surprising, and I think why there's so much conversation, at least from what I'm seeing, about Kelsey Plum, is that during the season when the rest of the core Aces, the other, they're the core four: A'ja, Chelsea, Jackie Young, and Kelsey Plum. So when her other three, counterparts, they signed extensions, she did not. And that was, it's interesting, but it's also like there's a lot of reasons why that could be. Yeah. But they are, they're coring her. So now that kind of piques my interest more. And based on your reporting, Callie, it seems like it really is up in the air whether or not Kelsey Plum may return today. So.
The Las Vegas Aces have been the epitome of dominance in the WNBA, a powerhouse team fueled by star talent, relentless teamwork, and an unyielding drive to win. At the heart of this juggernaut is the dynamic duo of A'ja Wilson, the league's reigning MVP, and Kelsey Plum, an explosive guard who has been crucial to the team's success. However, as free agency looms, uncertainty surrounds the future of this championship-caliber squad.
And just to know, again, the backstories of each individual on this team. And Kelsey Plum, just start with her as well. What can you say about her journey? And it goes down.
However, Kelsey Plum is currently stalling on signing a new contract extension, leaving fans and analysts wondering about her future with the Aces. Could this hesitation signal the end of her tenure with the team? If Plum departs, what does it mean for A'ja Wilson, who could be left with a weakened supporting cast? Especially with Kate Martin already gone, Plum's hesitation to extend her contract could place Wilson in an unprecedented bind, threatening the Aces' future and potentially causing a seismic shift in the league's power dynamics.
Satou Sabally has been the name most often mentioned when it comes to WNBA free agency, I believe, up to this point, mainly because she came out and said she's leaving the Wings. So that puts it into the universe, right? That makes it pretty apparent that she's going to be available come the free agency period. But another name, or names that are interesting, are...
Before Plum's potential exit became a pressing concern, the Aces already faced a significant loss with Kate Martin's departure. Though not as high profile as Plum or Wilson, Martin played an important role in the Aces' depth and versatility. Her ability to contribute on both ends of the floor and provide stability during key moments made her a crucial piece of the team's success.
Everyone.
Right.
Kate Martin, she was drafted by the Golden State Valkyries. And let me tell you, all the feelings came out when Kate was drafted there. Look, I think we have some of the quotes right here. Let's look. Oh, all of them at the same time. So for those of you who cannot see this, Chelsea Gray said, "Money Martin," just like statement, like, dang.
Martin's departure has already thinned the Aces roster, leaving fewer options to support Wilson and jeopardizing the team's championship aspirations. If Plum follows suit, the Aces would face a substantial talent gap, forcing them to rebuild a backcourt that once set the standard for the league. On top of this, Caitlin Clark, a generational talent poised to enter the WNBA, is ready to capitalize on this opening. Clark's ascension could shift the balance of power, challenging Wilson's dominance and potentially heralding the dawn of a new era in the league, one where Clark could overshadow Wilson's reign.
They're acting like you put Caitlin Clark on this damn team and then she has to start. No one says she has to start. Mind you, even though I know she's better than Kelsey Plum right now. She's better than Kelsey Plum right now. She's better than Chelsea Gray right now. Put Caitlin Clark on that Aces squad. Put Kelsey Plum on the Indiana Fever.
The WNBA's free agency period is one of the most thrilling and unpredictable times on the basketball calendar. A player like Kelsey Plum, with her exceptional talent, finds herself in a position where the possibilities are endless. Teams across the league are closely monitoring her situation, eager to capitalize on any opportunity for her services. Plum's scoring ability, court vision, and defensive skills make her an invaluable asset, one that could elevate any franchise to new heights. For Plum, the allure of free agency is undeniable. She could secure a max contract and potentially step into a leading role on a team, unburdened by the shared spotlight of playing alongside stars like A'ja Wilson. Teams with cap space and a desire to contend for championships are seen as likely suitors. The thought of Plum wearing a new jersey next season sends a wave of unease through Aces fans. While sending a clear message to the rest of the league, Plum could become the difference maker any team is seeking.
The other key free agent is Kelsey Plum, right? And Costabel's piece also speculated about her potential departure, as did ESPN's bold predictions for free agency. With so much discussion surrounding Plum's future, it's hard to ignore the possibility of her leaving the Las Vegas Aces.
Kelsey Plum, a key contributor to the Aces championship success, has recently found herself at the center of controversy, with many fans upset over how she was treated last season. Head coach Becky Hammon's repeated public reprimands, where she was seen yelling at Plum from the sidelines, sparked criticism from supporters. Fans argue that for a player of Plum's caliber, such treatment is not only unnecessary, but also shows a lack of respect for her immense contributions. Plum, a proven scorer and one of the league's brightest talents, has consistently delivered for the team. Her partnership with MVP A'ja Wilson has been central to the Aces' dominance. Yet, the ongoing public scolding has led many to question whether the franchise fully appreciates Plum's value on the court.
Trending for multiple days on Twitter, as there was this video going around of an exchange between her and Kelsey Plum.
Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, obviously. But, like, she understands her privilege and like, pushes her over the top in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
This video received quite a bit of backlash online, as it seemed like A'ja Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of
Kelsey Plum has been the driving force behind the Aces, celebrated for her versatility, fierce competitiveness, and knack for stepping up in crucial moments. Her dynamic partnership with A'ja Wilson has formed a powerful duo that WNBA teams have struggled to contain. During the Aces championship run, Plum averaged 20.2 points and 5.1 assists per game, highlighting her offensive skill and playmaking ability. However, her impact goes far beyond the stats. Plum elevates her teammates, drawing defensive attention that creates opportunities for Wilson to thrive in the paint. Without Plum's presence, the Aces would become more predictable, relying too heavily on Wilson to carry the team's offensive load.
I don't know if y'all know who Kelsey Plum is.
Yeah, I know.
Like, she went to Washington. She went to Washington when I was growing up. Bro, like, and me and my mom obviously would go to the games because they were real good. And so my mom would go as an alumni, bro. And she's dropping 40s, 50s. Like, it's nothing in college, bro. Yeah. And so I'm just like, at that age, I'm like...
A'ja Wilson is primed for another standout season, but the competition has never been more intense. Caitlin Clark, the explosive guard from Iowa, is entering the WNBA with a full offseason to recharge and is poised to make an immediate splash. Clark's lethal shooting range, playmaking ability, and high basketball IQ make her a legitimate MVP contender, even as a rookie. For Wilson to retain her MVP title, she'll need to fend off this rising star who is eager to leave her mark. The stakes are even higher with the potential addition of Satou Sabally to the Indiana Fever. Sabally, who recently announced she won't be returning to the Dallas Wings, could be the game-changer for Indiana as they aim to contend for a playoff spot. Her all-around skills and versatility could make the Fever a force to be reckoned with, adding more competition for Wilson and the Aces. Despite the looming threats, A'ja Wilson remains the core of the Aces' success. However, recent reports suggest that she's feeling the pressure of a league that's becoming more competitive. Wilson has reportedly raised her speaking fees by a significant $10,000, surpassing the asking price of Caitlin Clark. a rising star and fan favorite. This move seems to be part of Wilson's broader effort to secure her place as one of the faces of the league. While Wilson's dominance on the court justifies her stature, this increase in speaking fees could be a response to the growing influence of players like Clark, signaling Wilson's determination to hold her ground in an increasingly competitive environment.
About this, and just like I told y'all, man, these women and like their obsession with hating on Caitlin Clark and wanting to one-up her is crazy, dog. Just crazy. It said A'ja Wilson will be likable if she wasn't insecure. Fans ridicule regaining WNBA MVP with fake news as Caitlin Clark 100K fee trends. Now,
the WNBA's branding has greatly benefited from Caitlin Clark's growing popularity, but this has created tension for established stars like A'ja Wilson, who have long been the faces of their teams. Wilson's decision to raise her speaking fees reflects her desire to maintain her position as the league's most marketable and in-demand player. However, it remains to be seen whether this move will prove successful, as fans are increasingly drawn to the rising generation of talent, potentially shifting the spotlight away from the league's veterans in favor of its up-and-coming stars.
So Caitlin Clark recently, she was an absolute star during March Madness. The Iowa-UConn game was the top watched women's basketball game ever, 14.2 million viewers. And Caitlin Clark has brought a ton of attention to women's basketball, women's sports, and most recently was the #1 WNBA draft pick.
Ticket sales are becoming a growing concern for the Aces, especially with the rise of new narratives that may not favor them. Recent ticket package offerings from rival teams have notably excluded the Indiana Fever, who have gained significant attention thanks to their dynamic young talent, especially with Caitlin Clark leading the way. This shift has sparked debate over which teams are truly capturing fan interest and which players are dominating the spotlight. While the Aces continue to succeed on the court, they now find themselves in a battle for attention with the Fever, whose emerging popularity, fueled by Clark, is drawing a level of viewership that the Aces are now racing to match.
Sky, you can see every team part of these season ticket packages except for the Indiana Fever, because that is the hottest ticket in the game, the hottest ticket in the WNBA, the hottest ticket in women's sports right now. Going to an Indiana Fever game, going to watch the face of the league, going to watch the #1 American athlete, Caitlin Clark. That's the hottest ticket. That is the most.
Where does this leave the Aces? The real concern isn't whether A'ja Wilson can continue to lead, but what happens if Kelsey Plum decides to leave. Without Plum's scoring, leadership, and versatility, the Aces may be forced to reassess their roster and free agency strategy. Plum is more than just a key player. She's a vital part of the team's identity. Losing her could create a significant gap that's not easily filled, impacting both their on-court performance and their overall team chemistry. Moreover, the Aces must navigate an increasingly competitive landscape in the WNBA. The league is more popular than ever, and rising stars like Caitlin Clark, along with the potential rise of the Indiana Fever, are raising the stakes. The Aces can no longer rely solely on their established stars to dominate. They'll need to adapt their approach to remain competitive. Fans are also becoming more discerning, and as the league's competition intensifies, the Aces can't take their loyal fan base for granted. The pressure is on for them to evolve and stay ahead of the curve.
I would personally say hands down Caitlin Clark is the best player to come through the WNBA. Hands down, not based on white privilege. I think based on her full athletic talent and the position that she's playing in the WNBA.
If Kelsey Plum decides to leave, the Aces will face a critical turning point. They will need to find a way to stay relevant both on the court and with their fan base, a challenge that may require strategic acquisitions, strengthening team chemistry, or possibly even a shift in how the WNBA markets its star players. Plum's potential departure represents more than just a loss of talent. It could signal the beginning of a new era for the Aces, one in which they must reassess their identity and approach. How the team navigates this uncertainty will play a major role in determining whether they remain a dominant force in the league or become a franchise in transition. The impact of Plum leaving extends beyond just the Aces. her departure could trigger a series of moves that ripple throughout the league. Teams looking to bolster their rosters would likely pursue Plum, knowing that she could instantly elevate them to title contention. The Aces, in turn, would need to focus on finding a replacement or reshaping their roster to compensate for her absence, potentially exploring trades or free agent signings. However, replacing a player of Plum's caliber would be no easy task. The league itself could experience a shift in power dynamics. If Plum joins a rival team, she could tilt the balance of power in the WNBA. For the Aces, the focus would likely fall on A'ja Wilson to continue carrying the team. But without Plum, even Wilson's brilliance may not be enough to maintain their dominance. Meanwhile, players like Caitlin Clark, who already have the potential to become the face of the league, could rise to prominence, further challenging Las Vegas's position at the top. In this ever-evolving landscape, the Aces must adapt quickly to maintain their standing.
Player in my time of paying attention to women's basketball that has been more polarizing than Caitlin Clark. She was named Times 2024 Athlete of the Year, which I think is well deserved for what she did in the college game and then bringing it to...
The storyline is set. A struggling Wilson-led Aces team facing off against a rising Clark-led squad. This rivalry has the potential to captivate fans and intensify the competition in the WNBA. For Aces fans, the next few months will be filled with uncertainty. Will Plum stay to help defend their title, or will she pursue new opportunities? If she leaves, can Wilson carry the team solo, or will Clark and the next generation of stars usher in a new era for the league? What's clear is that the WNBA is entering a transformative period, with decisions made now shaping the league's future. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.